We are a housing company, and we had been focusing on turnover since about 2016. Our turnover was actually around 63% in our direct labor. Yes, it was very high. Now, in our industry, that was typical. And we really were the first to basically say, we don't have to accept this. So, it's a little bit like the restaurant industry where the workforce, they don't necessarily view it as a career. And we really took that as an opportunity to say, well, why not? Why wouldn't you come and have a career in a housing company? And so we set a vision of, ultimately when we think about what would be an acceptable turnover rate for us, we said, okay, we would like to be below 20%. So from 63%. And so from 2016, 17, 18, 19, a lot of what we focused on was pay and engagement. So we were doing team member engagement surveys, and with that, we did leadership development and really laid the groundwork for the importance of the relationship, that relationship between the immediate supervisor and the team member. And we had done quite a bit, we felt like, in terms of trying to teach them some skills around emotional intelligence. Of course, listening was a big skill. And we had made progress. So turnover had gone from 63% down to about 48%, and we were feeling pretty good about it. And then even through COVID, when everything was so uncertain, our turnover tapered off. But then when the recovery dollars were being put out into the economy, and a lot of people were sick and they didn't have childcare, and there were just all these reasons why turnover just started to go back up, and we were moving in the wrong direction. So around that time, it was the middle of 2021, and I looked at Ralph, who's our director of training and development, and I said, whatever we've been working on, let's focus on retention. And so he found Dick's book, and he said, I want to try this book or this program, and it's about stay interviews. And then when he shared the 5 questions with me, I was like, we had avoided wanting to script our leaders up until that point. We really wanted to teach them skills and to be authentic and all those good things. At the same time, they were like, please just help us. Like, how do we do this? And so they really appreciated having these questions. And so we did a pilot in 2021, and we had a little bit of difficulty getting traction with it. And so we got our VPs and our president back together, and we said, hey, if we really want to do this, we're going to have to step up our expectations and put some more resources and investment into it. And thankfully, our president of the manufacturing company was a believer, and he said, let's do it. So that was really the genesis of the program. Back in early 2022, and she helped facilitate our first regional workshop. So we had about 100 people, leaders from across the Southeast, who we were introducing to all of the concepts from the book in terms of really understanding your cost of turnover and calculating turnover and understanding what, as leaders, your role is in that. So she also did the train the trainer for us. And then we have some internal facilitators who then took what she taught, and we had 3 additional regional workshops after that. So we did a total of 400 leaders who came, and we did train the training for them. Yeah, so we started about a year ago. It was last May, so I guess that's really just 11 months ago. And turnover at the time was 49%. We had a goal to reduce it to 35% by July, and we've already hit that target. We're at 35.4%, so that's a 28% improvement. That, from a numbers standpoint, translates to 1,200 fewer terminations in a 9-month period. And if you use a conservative estimate of $5,000 per termination, that's a savings of $6 million. So very, very successful results, exceeded our expectations. And that At this point, we are at over 11,000 stay interviews in less than a year. And we also heard feedback that they took a lot longer than what we had estimated. We had suggested that they set aside at least 20 minutes, and then they were like, we really need 30 or 40 minutes. And so just knowing the quality of the conversations and the quality of the relationships was improving has been just, I think, set us up for a bright, long future, hopefully, again, with this idea that we would have people who would choose to stay with us for a career. Anytime your workforce is more stable, it gives you an opportunity to cross-train more. And the more training they have, the more efficient production is. And most of them have a bonus that is tied to production and efficiency. So then their compensation, hourly rate, also increases as we have a more stable workforce. So I would definitely say there's lots of synergy and benefits beyond retention. One opportunity that we found is that a lot of leaders wanted to forecast all of their team members as green, that they're not at risk. And so after time, we were like, well, the turnover numbers are still showing that they're leaving. So either the team members not being, particularly open with you, or maybe the leader is worried that they can't say, oh, well, I think this person might be a flight risk. So we still have definite room for improvement there, but just to see the numbers of conversations that were happening and to know that all of our team members were getting dedicated time with their direct supervisors, it was just really, really encouraging. And especially coming out of COVID, for them to have that one-on-one attention during the slow times or the fast times, we would say it's a great tool to have open and honest conversations with your team members. Don't skimp on the time where you're helping your leaders calculate their own cost of turnover. And it's much more impactful for them to use the calculator and see the numbers in real time than for us as HR to tell them this is what it costs you. So that was really impactful. Approaching this very much from a leadership development standpoint, that this is an opportunity for leaders to better understand their role as a leader in the company, and to develop really important communication skills, asking questions, listening, following up. All of that builds trust. And at the end of the day, that's a core value for us, is that we want our team members to trust us and to help us make it a world-class team member experience for them. That's our goal, is to be a world-class. So you help us figure out how to do that. It's a great tool for doing that.